Hi everyone, Marcus here for discussion round 2. My initial perceptions on individuals with disabilities was probably more of your standard societal perception. Upon first glance at a person with a disability, I would have definitely had a limited expectation of that individual's ability to live and to interact in the world around us, the way that people without disabilities can. Seeing that disability as more of a hindrance and an obstacle to overcome, rather than a unique blessing. However, even I, with such a perception, have had many interactions and encounters with happy, healthy, and amazing individuals with disabilities. That does show just how resilient these individuals can be with the right support and the right environment. My perceptions on disabilities, without a doubt, have to absolutely matter as an educator. Just because the majority of my class might be children without disabilities shouldn't exempt all people with those conditions from being able to participate and produce excellent outcomes. I do agree with Mr. Wyman-Meyer's statement that society in general doesn't have very high expectations for individuals with disabilities, firsthand because of how I have my perceived perception at first. So I can completely agree with that. I believe society looks at the disability as a complete hindrance and doesn't imagine the ways to help change that perception or perceived reality. That reality that I see this person with a disability and there's no way in reality that they could do or produce the way, but there is if you took the time to help change and to create a different outcome. UDL stands for Universal Design for Learning. It helps make learning more accessible. They intend to modify how individuals with disabilities deal with representation, expression, engagement, making things more usable by more people, as well as things that may need to be customized for particular individuals. This is something helping to open up doors for more people to interact and participate in opportunities that otherwise wouldn't even be possible. I believe the reason colleges have such a drastic difference in percentage of students with disabilities requesting and receiving accommodation in the post-secondary setting could be due to social engagement. Making that transition from high school to post-school programs requires living more independently. Perhaps this shift in social settings and the demands of post-school programs throws these individuals with disabilities off their course, rather than reaching out and requesting for more help or accommodations. The pros of the response to intervention model seem rather few and not very well researched on a macro scale. One pro could be that when implemented on a limited scale, positive outcomes are present across most subjects. The cons are more abundant with this model, as there are impediments to implementing and even researching the model, controversy between identification, instruction, and prevention, and it is argued to slow down evaluation and intervention in itself. That is the end of my responses to the discussion 2. It helped change my perception. I initially had a more standard societal understanding, and just in this week, reviewing all the material that was present, seeing these individuals with all their different disabilities, whether it was how they were born or something that developed in the middle of their adulthood or in the middle of their teenage years, seeing how they overcome, seeing their blossoming personalities, it just helped to remind and reiterate all of those times in my life when I did see people with those disabilities that I interacted with, didn't even realize that these people were dealing with these limitations. And that just goes to show, once again, with the right environment, with the right help, the right support, a helping hand out there, and accommodations, people with disabilities can be just as productive and produce just as great outcomes as any other student. And they shouldn't be limited or cast away just because of that disability. Thank you, everyone.